Today we will learn file handling part 3. Before learning this video, you have to learn first and second part of this video. Otherwise, you can't get this video clearly. Today we will learn the function fgetS. FgetS is a function to read string from a file. We already learned fgetC. fgetC is a function which reads character by character from a file. But in case of fgetS, it is a function to read string from a file. The syntax is fgetS, str, n and fp. The function fgetS takes 3 arguments. See here str, n and fp. The first is the string into which to read data. Second is the maximum number of characters to read. And third is the parameter, it is the file from which to read. When all the lines from the file have been read, we attempt to read one more line, in which case fgetS returns null. Means when it reads EOF, then fgetS returns null value. EOF means end of file character. We already learned what is EOF in our previous video. So, the link is given in the description. So, fgetS returns a null value when it reads end of file. It stops when either the new line character is read or when the end of file is read. Whichever comes first, if fgetS read new line character or fgetS read end of file, then fgetS stops. Now we learn the fgetS function through a program. So our program is, it is a program to read content from a file and display on the screen. Use fgetS to read string from a file. So this program, the target of this program is to read a string from a file and display the content of that file into our display screen. Now see how this program works. See here, I start writing the program. First main, then I declare one file pointer fp. So fp holds the address of the file structure. Now I declare one string, one character array, character str10. Now I open by fopen function, I open a file named f1.txt. It is a text file in reading mode. Reading mode means if the file already exists, then it will open. But if the file is not exist, then fp returns null. Then we can't read that file. See, first see here, f1.txt is saved in hard disk. Now, when I call this function fopen f1.txt in read mode, this text file comes to the buffer in RAM. Okay, and this is our buffer pointer which points the first byte of the file, and fp points to the file structure. Now, if fp returns null, then we can say that file not exist. We can't get the file, so end of program. Now, otherwise we have to read the file, okay, by the function fgetS. So you have to write, start one while loop, file fgetS str9 fp not equals to null. Means fgetS reads string. String means what? Size is 9. So it's 9 character at a time. It reads, see here, 9 character at a time from the file pointed by fp. And it is stored, that string is stored to this variable, to this character array str. Okay, I repeat, it reads 9 character at a time from the file pointed by fp, and the already read characters are stored to this character string str. Okay. Now, if fgetS returns null, then we can say we reached at the end of file. So, this while loop will continue till the value of fgetS is not equal to null. So, after that you have to print the string, just write %s_str. So, in this way, till we get the null, fgetS read the string and print it to the output screen. After that, when we call fclose fp, then all link will lost and the file again saved to the hard disk. In this way, fgetS read string of size 9 from the file. Now see the code. So you have to include stdio.h header file, and fp is a pointer. It holds the address of the file structure. There is one string character array, character s10. Now I want to read from the file f1.txt. It is a text file. Open it in read mode. And if the file not exist, then fp returns null. Then we write error in opening file. Otherwise, you have to read from the file using the function fgetS. So this s is the string into which to read data, and second is 5. It is the maximum number of characters to read, and this third is the file from which to read. So fp point to this file f1.txt. Now we start one while loop and we write fgetS s5 fp not equals to null. If fgetS returns null, we can say we reached the end of file character. If we reach the end of file character, then stop reading. Now you have to print the string. So just write printf %s. Now in this way it reads 5 characters at a time, and this loop will continue till we get the end of file character. Now you have to close the file using fclose fp. Now see where is our f1.txt file is located. Also we have to search what is the directory of this program. Reading from file using fgetS. Okay, so see, this is my directory. So this is the program number 3, I think. Reading from file using fgetS.c. This is my program. See here, this is my C program. Reading from file using fgetS.c. So this is my program. Program number 3, reading from file using fgetS.c. Okay. Now see, I want to read from the file f1.txt. They are in same directory. This is our file f1.txt. I want to read from this file. So you have to save this file and these two files in the same directory. Okay. Now when I open the file, see the line life is beautiful and God is good. These two lines is there. Now when I run the program, run this program, we get these two lines. Now I just change the line, see here, I again write another line, say now save. Now when we run the program, we get these three lines. In this way, fgetS is used to read 5 characters at a time here in this our program. Now we learn fputs function. The fputs function is then used to write the string to the file, just the opposite of fgetS. The counterpart of fgetS is fputs function. it is important to note that fputS function do not writes the null character, that is the /0 character, into the file. Normally after a string, we end a string using a /0 character. But in case of fputS function, it do not writes the null character, that is /0, into the file. FputS is a function, it is declared in standard header file stdio.h. So the syntax is fputS strfp, where str is the pointer to the string, okay, and fp is the file pointer. We will learn fputS function through a program. So our program is write a program to write a string to a file using fputS and write the content to the file. Means you want to give the input and that input is written to your required file. Now see how this program works. First you have to declare a file pointer fp which holds the address of the file structure. I declare one character array str of size 10. Now I want to write my name to a particular file. So there is one printf statement, enter your name. Your name is stored to the string str. Using getS function, take the name. Now you have to open the file f1.txt where we want to write our name. Okay, so you have to open f1.txt. Open it, it is a text file, and open it in W mode. W mode means what? If the file exists, then it will start writing from the beginning of the file. It erases the old content. And if the file not exists, then it will create the new file and start writing from the beginning of the file. You can also open it using append mode. Append mode means if the file not exists, it will create a new file, start writing from the beginning. And if the file is exists, then it will not erase the old content, just writing after the previous content. So when I write fopen function, then this function loads from hard disk to memory in buffer. So hard disk to buffer. So buffer pointer points to the first byte of this file and fp points to the file structure, means fp holds the address of the file structure. If fp returns null, then we can say that can't open the file. Otherwise, you have to write fputS strfp, means I want to write that string and where that file, on that file which is pointed by fp. So this is our string. I want to write this string to this file. After that, you have to close your file. So call the function fclose and close the function, close the file pointed by fp. So we have to use fclose fp. Then that file is again saved to the hard disk. In this way, this program works. Now see the code. You have to include stdio.h header file. This is our string. This is file pointer. Now printf write something. Write one string. Now you have to open the file f2.txt where you want to write this string, this input string, and open it in write mode. Okay. If fp returns null, then there is one message, error in opening file. Otherwise, just write that string to the file using fputS function to this file f2.txt. Okay, then close the file. Now see f2.txt. This is our file where I want to write, and this is program name is for writing in a file using fputS.c. So see the directory. This is program number 4, writing in a file using fputS.c. and no file named f2.txt. See here, no file named f2.txt, no file name f2.txt in this directory. Okay, okay, there is one file f2.txt. I just delete this file. Now see, no file name f2.txt here. Okay, now I run our program. Write something. I write okay. Now press enter. Okay, now close this. Now see, is there any file created? F2, see here, there was a new file f2.txt. It is our new file. Now open this file. See, it is written. Now I just close the file. Now I want to open this file using append mode. Okay, append mode. Okay, append mode means if there is any file, then it starts writing after the previous content. So when we run the program, I write again. I want to open that file f2.txt. Because it is append mode, after the previous content God is great, it starts writing the new content. And see, there is no gap because footage here does not use /0 after one string. See the diagram, it will more clear. First, open the file data.txt in write mode. It is a text file, notepad file. Fptr points to the first character. You have to write using footage, first C programming, then Java programming. First C programming. Then using footage, write Java programming. After that, fclose. Close the file. Save it to the hard disk. This is our file data.txt. Now again open this file using read mode. Fptr point to the first character. There is one character string of size 20. Using fktest, you have to read 20 character at a time. Remaining are null. So using printf, first write the string to the output screen. Then read the next string. Ch point to the address of the next string, base address of the next string. Remaining characters are null. Using printf, write it to the output screen. Now fptr points to the end of file. So it returns null. fgetS function returns null. So close the file, save it to the hard disk, and we will get the required output on the output screen. We already learned what is getS function in our string chapter. Now we will learn what is the difference between getS and fgetS. In case of getS, it is a predefined function in C which is used to read a string or a text line and store the input in a well-defined string variable. But in case of fgetS, the function reads a text line or a string from the specified file or console. So difference is it reads the string from the specified file and then store it to the respective string variable. In case of getIS, the function terminates its reading session as soon as it encounters a new line character. Here also fgetIS terminates reading session whenever it encounters a new line character. But furthermore, unlike getIS, the function also stops when EOF is reached, or even if the string length exceeds the specified limit, that is n-1. So, what is n? N is the maximum length of the string that should be read. So, what is the syntax? Syntax of getIS is just write getIS then variable name. See here, I declare one character variable character array string and here I write getIS string. In case of fgetIS, you have to write fgetIS strnfp, where str is the string. Str means this string is the base address of this string. 20 is the maximum length of the string that should be read and fp is the file pointer. The difference between putS and fputS. We already learned putS in our string chapter. So today we will learn what is the difference between putS and fputS. In case of putS function in C is used to write a line or string to the output string, in the output screen rather. In case of fputS, the function is used to write to any stream or a file. So, in this case, the user can specify the stream to which he or she wants to write. In case of putS function, appends a new line character at the end while writing a string or a line. But in case of fputS function doesn't append a new line character, that is /n, at the end of the string or line. So the syntax is putS variable. So see here I declare one character array, character mystr. So just write putS mystr. But in case of fputS, the syntax is fputS strfp. So this is our character array, character str size 10. So just write fputS strfp. So this is your assignment number 9, part 2. Try to run this program and feel free to ask any question. For getting more and more updates, please subscribe my channel. That's all for today. Thank you.